Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made these cards. The idea is very much from Jennifer Maguire and I think she calls it a split card. I'm calling it a 2-for-1 split card. The idea is that you have one sheet and you put all the decorations on like that and then you slice it into one, so you've got two pieces. Now you can have them either like that or you can have them like that, whichever way you want to do them. As you can see, I have done mine, so I've got one side there, both congratulations cards. So I'm going to show you how to do this. Because there's a lot of stamping and colouring, I've done all my pieces ahead of time, but I will do one of each with you. The only one I'm not going to be doing, although I will stamp it, I'm not going to sit and fussy cut these. You may decide that that is just too much for you, don't like fussy cutting them. I have to say I managed to do 4 of them and then I gave up, got bored with it. But that's what I took on here, 4 of them. Okay, so to start off with, I'm going to give you the card pieces that you need to make 2 cards. So first of all, you need 2 card bases in Popular Parade, and they should measure 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4, scored and folded at 4 1/8 inches. I will put the metric measurements and the US measurements in the box below the video. There's 2 of those. Then you need 2 pieces of Whisper White, which measure 3 3/4 inches by 5 3/8 inches. You need 4 pieces of Basic Black, which measure 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/2 inches. You need 1 large piece of Whisper White, which measures 5 7/8 inches by 8 1/4 inches. You need 2 pieces of scraps for the sentiment and the layer. And depending on how many flowers, how many poppies you want to do, you will need 1 piece for every large flower, small flower, single leaf and the leafy branch thing. So I've used 7 flowers, so you'd need 7 of these, and these measure approximately 2 inches by 6 inches. Now I've set up my Stamparatus to do this, which is why I'm saying these amount of pieces. If you've got a Stamparatus and do this, you'll find it really very, very much easier than actually stamping individually. First of all, I think I will do, if I do the stamping, then I can do the colouring. I'll do that stamping and the die cutting, then that's the Stamparatus out of, the Big Shot out of the way. Let me just move all my bits and pieces here out of the way. Now, as you know, I don't consider myself to be much of a colourer, so I will show you the way I do it. It may well be that you do your colouring a lot better than I do. But we'll have a look, we'll see how we go. If I move those out of the way first, I will bring in my Stamparatus first. Right, let's... I know you've heard me say this before, and no doubt I will say it plenty of times in the future, but I think our Stamparatus blows all other stamp positioners out of the water. And the reason I say that is because we have these plates for our stamps. We can take them out and we can turn them around, so we can put more stamps on here. So the Stamparatus comes with 2 plates, which means you've got 4 sides you can use before you need to clean stamps and change them over. I've actually got more than 1 set of plates, which, like, this is another one, so I've got the sentiment on there. To me, it just makes life so much easier. Let me just get the two stamp sets that I'm using. First of all, I'm using Painted Poppies. That one, that one, that one, and that one. You could use that as two-step stamping to colour onto that, but I find, or at least I consider that to be too big for this one, which is why I've gone to the trouble of actually painting all of mine. And my sentiment comes from Beautiful Friendship, which says, a very big congratulations and best wishes to you. I need 3 congratulation cards, and I was thinking, well, I've made 4 now, or at least I will be 4 by the time I finish these, and I thought, I wonder what I can do with the 4th one. And I had a phone call from my granddaughter today, and she said that she went for an interview for a job. She's 16, so it's a job to earn herself some money. She'll be going to college and uni, and she got her job this morning, so she will be the next one to get the 4th card from me. Right, so I am going to start off with one of my pieces that's approximately 2 inches by 6. As you can see, I've done it so that those 2 will go on there and those 2 will go on there. Nice and easy. I'm going to be using Memento ink because I'm going to use my stamping blends to colour, and let me just anchor that in place. And obviously, like all stamp positioners, the beauty of this is you can stamp it more than once. If you're not happy with how dark it's come out, you just stamp it again. And with all of these, I find, mind you, I should really re-ink this, but the black centre never comes out particularly well. So I always need to do this twice. These leaves normally come out perfectly okay once, but because I have the facility to do it, I do them twice. Right, that one's still not quite. So let's just get that another one. Perfect. So that's that one done. Now I can do my leaves. Okay, so if you do this, you just work your way through and you do all 7 pieces. As I say, I'm using Stamparator, so I can do it twice, might as well. Looks like I'm stamping myself as well there. There we go, that's good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this one out of the way. I'm going to move that out of the way. And the one for my sentiment, let's move that. Now when I'm working like this and I've got more than one, I just put a piece of copy paper in between them so that they don't make each other dirty. That's it. So where's my other one? I want this one to come in, and I think I did that one here. Let me just double check that. Yep, that's right. What have I knocked on the floor? It sounded like paper. Oh well. I'll soon find out if I've lost something. Right, so that's where I want my sentiment. Ah, I know what I have forgotten. That is a photopolymer stamp, so I need one of the mats in there to prop this up. Let's move that out of the way. Get that off. Let's pop that one there. That one. So, right. Let me just pull my chair back in again. Yes, I really think my pad needs to be re-inked. think it's that that's in the way, isn't it? And I've just moved that. Yes, I did. Let's turn that around and do that one again. So you weren't in the way before. So let's just see if we can take this bit off. It's not so easy to pick up if you don't have something like this. But I'm going to see if I can get some masking tape. I've tried, this is just washi tape, but that didn't seem to hold very well. Let me just check my die there to make sure that's going to cover. Yep, that'll be fine. Oh, moved it again. I'm not taking a chance with that. Oh, it's for the other piece as well, wasn't it? I can get the layer and the... In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. If I turn it that way, I will definitely get the sentiment and the layer out of the one piece. Right, let's try this again. There we go, much, much better. There we go, that's good. Right, so I need another piece of paper now, don't I? Let's put that in there. That's to stop that making my mat underneath dirty while I'm carrying on. I'll do that afterwards. So I've finished with all of those now, don't need those. And before I do the... Oh, it must have been my stamping that I've knocked on the floor, isn't it? Because I said I'd do just colour one with you. Oh, here we go. I knew I'd heard something fall. Right, how do I do this? I use light and dark Poppy Parade, light and dark Granny Apple Green, and this is black. So first of all, I'm not going to do all of this, I'll do one of the poppies. So first of all, oops, that's gone over the edge, well done. Well, this is just a demonstration one. As I say, I've already got all mine over there done. So I go round the edge first. A bit like doing a jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? I always go round to the edging on that first, the straight edges. Now I also come round and do just a little bit into the black dotty bits, and then I know how far I can colour in here. I don't go particularly careful to make sure it's all even. They're flowers after all, so we want a bit of contrast and a bit of colour variation. Make them as more like as lifelike as possible. So I would do that to that little one as well. I'm going to give that red a few minutes. But what I do, I go over with my black and I cover up all the extra white bits that I'm left with, including that bit there, and then just make sure that I've gone all over there. So that makes it look a bit more, oh look, there's white bits there. I just think it make it look a bit more correct. So now I'm using my dark Poppy Parade, Now with this one, again, I'm going to go around the edge and I'm going to come down on both sides and colour in most of it. I'm going to do that around each one. I do it very loosely over the black bits there, because if I miss any pieces it doesn't matter, because I know that it's got the light Poppy Parade on it. I was saying about my granddaughter earlier, the job she's got is to be working in a hairdresser. She doesn't want to be a hairdresser, but she's going to be the person who does all the things that the hairdressers won't be doing, I suppose. But she's a lovely girl. I love her. Right, there we go. So that's that. And I go back with my light Poppy Parade and I blend in around the edges where the dark is. Do it once. And twice. As I say, I'm not absolutely brilliant at doing this, but I think that my poppies come up looking very nice. I'm happy with them. Okay, so that's what how I do my poppies. With my leaves, I'll just do this little one here. Yes, I will just do this little one here. And then I will show you how I do this stem on the other one, because it needs to be coloured. Okay, so again, I'm using my lighter colour here. Just colour all of it in. Just give that a few seconds to settle before I go over with the dark one, and I'll use my pen end, and this is how I do the stem. And I just very gently tickle the paper, just enough for it to grab some ink without making it grab so much that it goes over the edges. Okay, you see none of it's come over the edge there. So now I go back to my, or at least I go to my dark pen, and I just do one line along the centre and little lines on the veins that are already there. Put that one away, come back with my light one, and then I just blend that in. I don't worry too much going right at the outside edges there. I just want to make sure it's got shade to it. Okay, so that's how I do that. So that's those coloured. So we die cut. Let me get my big shot up first. There we go. So the dies that I'm using for the sentiment and the layer are our layering ovals, and I'm using number 3 of the straight cut and number 3 of the scallop cut as well. So what I'm hoping now is that I can do this one here, and then this one here. Yes, well done. Okay, so we'll do that one first. move my drink of water out of the way there. So there's that. And there's that. Now we're going to use the dies that come with our painted poppy paint set, painted poppies. So you can die cut that, and that one. I think they're the only die. I don't know, do we have a die for that one? No, we don't. But the other ones are shapes, and that's what they cut out like. Okay. It's a nice selection. So, and there's 2 dies for that one. I'm only going to do one. I'll do that one, and I'll do that one. And normally what I do is I take my scissors and I separate all of these. And the reason I do that is because sometimes the dies decide to move. And if you've got all of these attached, you can't move your piece of paper that you're trying to die cut. Have I got that up the right way? I think so. If you've got a, in your cutting mat, if there's a dip, it's best to have the dip pointing downwards, particularly when you're using such small dies. Now I can't see these properly because I'm looking at them sideways. Oops, I see that just jumped off. One of the things I like about these new dies from Stampin' Up are you just line your die up on the outside black line. You don't have to judge that you've got the same amount of white exposed like other brands of dies. And again, I can't see this properly because I'm looking at it sideways. Fortunately, I don't need any of these if they do go wrong. I hope not, because I will save them for another project. And there we go. With the painted poppies set, there is, there we go, there's that one. There is another set of dies which cut out outline poppies, and I did wonder whether this style of card could be done using those. And I thought you'd have to be really careful because those dies you have 2 layers to make your poppy. I'll show you towards the end. And when you're layering, if you put one on top of the other or overlapping each other, you're getting an awful lot of thickness. In fact, let me show you now what I mean. I've got it here. Okay, so this is what I did with this one. And I was very careful not to get too many that were overlaying each other. Like, you've got the Poppy Parade and you've got the Real Red. And then you've got the leaf there. So I made sure the leaf didn't come to where I would be cutting. But even so, I still finished up that I couldn't cut that properly. As you can see, that piece became damaged. And I think I lost a piece of, yes, I lost the piece off of this poppy as well. So there was a lot of work involved in that one, and it's disappointing that it didn't work. But I will see what I can save out of it. It's certainly worth the effort to do what I have done here, which is stamp and colour the other poppies. you might have seen that come out rather quickly there, so I'm going to blot it onto a piece of scrap paper. There we go. There we go, so there's that. Now I'm going to bring in all the pieces that I've already done. I'll bring one of each up to you close so you can see what my colouring actually looks like once it's had a chance to dry. Okay. It's quite obvious about the lighter colour in the middle and the darker one on the outside. But I think when you look overall at the card, I think it still looks good. Okay. So, I have those there. Those on that pile. Let's bring the rest of these in. Should have 7 of each. Oh, I've got 8 of that one, that's right. In fact, I should have 11 of those. Went down to 10 because I did mess up one. And there should be 7 each of these. Please. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's not the one, is it? Well, that was a bit clumsy. Oh well, let's see if we can do it without the 7th one. Right, I'm going to bring my card pieces back. The reason I didn't have everything here to show you is because I had already adhered these in. Oh, there it is, look at that. Because I'd already put these on the inside. You certainly don't want to sit and watch me do unnecessary bits. Right, so let's get this piece. First of all, what we need to do is we need to mark halfway, and that applies whatever measurements you're using. There's my ruler. In fact, I could use this, couldn't I? The halfway mark on mine I know is 4 1/8. Let's get a pencil. So I'm using my grid paper, and that is 4 1/8. I will still need a ruler, won't I? Just in case my paper is not quite the width I think it is. 4 1/8. And then draw a line to connect the two. Now this line is going to be covered up, so no worries there. And I'm just using my thick line here just as a double check to make sure that I have got this straight. In fact, thinking about it, it wouldn't be the end of the world if it wasn't. Okay. Oops. A little bump where my finger got in the way. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. So what we need to do now is to arrange how we want our poppies. I can't remember quite how I started mine. I know there was one single at the top, and I think my thoughts were that I would do like that, but I came outwards towards the bottom. Let me see if I can put my cards together and follow the pattern again. As the saying goes, there's no point reinventing the wheel. I'm quite happy with the way that my card has come out. So where I'm using these ones, if you haven't done the fussy cutting, then you just need to put more of these ones in. Don't need that. Did I just pick that one up from, I think I did, didn't I? These are the ones from what I did with you. Okay, so that was like that, did that. I had one there, and then another big one there, and then one little one. I'm hoping that I've got two left over so that I can decorate the insides of my cards. So I've got that one, then I've got two big ones, and one big one, and then two little ones. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so that's how I did it before. If I wanted to change it now, I've got some extras that I could do up here. But as I say, it worked nicely last time, so I'm going to leave it. And I put one there. I had one there. One there. Now this won't finish up looking exactly the same. I'm not sure I've got room to actually pull this in so that you can see all of them, have I? Let me have a look. No. Not really. Okay. So let me carry on with, I'll copy this. I've got one. Oops, not upside down. That one there, that one's got one. Because I felt that there was just too much red there that needed breaking up a bit. So there was one there. There's one there. And I didn't want them all sticking out the same either. So that one, let's have one of these, was there. And there was another one of these here. And I have to say, this did cut okay with my trimmer. You got two of these in between that one. So that must be there. I think that one went in a bit further. Okay, so that I think is probably it. So what have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I've got an extra one. That's okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start adhering these with that first one, because it's going to go over the edge. I'm going to put my silicone mat underneath it. Now I'm not going to get myself in a 2 and 8 if this doesn't work out identical to the one, my original one. Okay, so there's my pencil line. So I'm going to put this one right over the centre of that. Now when you're going to put your leaves underneath, once you have glued this one, you need to move quite quickly so that you've still got time to do it. Okay, that was the only one I did there. And the next one is this one. And I'm not going to bunch them up too much, which is why, where did you come from? Oh, you were from down there. That's why I've laid them all out like this, so that I know how close or how far apart I need them to be. So I'm going to do this one next. And pop that there. Now, as far as possible, I am going to try not to overlap this one. If it does, Oh, that's okay, because I can see where my line is there. So that's not going to be where it's going to be cut. So that will be all right. And this one's got to be layered underneath there. So let me just get some glue ready on that. And then this one. So I'm going to put that there. And I am trying to avoid having any gaps. Move that over a bit. Between there, I don't want to see my card down there. Now before that dries. Okay, that's gone in. It's coming higher. Oh, only a fraction. I was going to say I didn't cut it off last time, but I did. Okay, so that's okay. Now I've got to have one of these coming over here, and I've got to have one of these coming over here, and these next two are big ones. So I'm going to do that one in the centre. So let's get some more glue onto that one ready. This is the beauty of using Tombow. You do have a bit of time with it before you need to glue it down. Oh, I haven't finished with that. Okay, so there's that. And I want this one to come over here. That's going to go about there. That is going about there, because I'm going to cover up, whoops, cover up that bit there. Bring it down. And then this one is going to go in there. Now I have gone off on a tangent now. So what I think I'll do, let's bring another little one in. Now from the outside it doesn't matter if they overlap quite a bit, because we're not going to be cutting. Okay, so, and also I'm not unduly worried about if my sentiment is going to be coming over as well. That's going to be okay. Right, so there's that. And there should be another big one here. Okay, so, oops, what's that? No, so far so good. That's got to come in underneath this one. Alright, so this one I am going to turn it at an angle. I like my poppies to look a little bit different from each other. Okay, and I'm just about covering that part of the leaf branch. And then this one is where I need one of these in here. And I think I needed one here, didn't I? Should we put it underneath? I think we're going to put this one underneath. So if I talk to you, or at least sit here talking to myself while I'm arranging this, you can see what my thought processes are, which you can either follow or totally dismiss. Right, so this one, I'm going to just pop this on here somewhere. I'm going to do it like that, I think, because I want to avoid the cutting bit. So I've got two there. That's the maximum I will do, allowing my cut trimmer having to go over two pieces plus the white. Right, so we're now going to have another big poppy. You can see whether they're big poppies or small ones, because the bigger ones have got the big circle and the small ones have got just like this, what I call a straight line. Okay, so there's that one. And then under here we're going to have a sprig. So let's put some glue on that. I'm just putting glue on all 5 leaves there. If you find that when you're doing this bit and you can't get your leaf in far enough because Tombo's got too much of a grip on it, then try just cutting off the stem, that bit there, because you don't really need that, it's going to be hidden anyway. Okay, so we're down here now. Whoops, it's because I've got glue on my finger. Right, now I really have gone off on a tangent here, so that one will be okay. That will be okay. I'll put a big one on top. I'll come in with those in a minute. That one. That one. I'm not going to have enough left to do the inside unless I rearrange this somehow. Let's do a little one there. We'll do a big one and a big one and a small one. Can I pull this down slightly? Now this sheet measures 5 7/8, but once it's cut, it's going to be cut down to 5 3/8, which means I've got ½ an inch that's going to be cut off. So if I've got ½ an inch showing here, it's okay. I'm still going to be able to cut straight along the bottom like that, because I want it to look that it's gone over the edge. Okay, and that is coming down almost tree-like. So that one's stuck. Let's do this one. And like this, I would finish up with 2 left over. Oh, 3 with the one that I painted with you. And here I had another leaf like this. These two I actually did in the same direction, didn't I? See, that's the bit where it's difficult for me to get that right in, so I'm going to cut that off. So I don't need to push it in so far then. So that one's okay. Now I'm going to put that in first, so this one can come on top. Bring that down as far as possible. That can come down there. Let's twist this around a bit, shall we? In fact, I could do that, couldn't I? If I did that there, then I'm down to the end, and we can block that bit up with a leaf. Okay, so first of all, I'll take the leaf. I'm going to put it in there. See, I've got my line there, so I'm going to not put my leaf onto the line, so it doesn't get too thick to cut. And I'm going to put that like that. Oh, nearly down to the bottom. Okay, see, you don't have to have your poppies all one way round. I'm going to put that one like that, and as I say, that oops, that one can come over. And I've got a gap there which I don't like, so I'm going to cut this off beforehand. Put some glue, and I should be able to just slide it in. Oh yes, there we go. Okay. So that one, I wonder if I can slide that one underneath enough. I don't want it that way because it's the same. There we go, that would be good. So what else have I got? Have I used 1, 2, 3, got another one of these. So that's coming up there somewhere. Okay, so let's prepare this one. And I want that with this one. So, oops. Let me put some glue on the big one. If you enjoy doing jigsaw puzzles, you like doing this. Well, I can't do it that way round because that's the same. Or do I want to do it like that? I'm going to do it that way round. I'm going to bring this one in. That's better. There we go. Just this one now. How many leaves have I used? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it was 7 on the last one, wasn't it? So we'll make it 8 this time. I'll leave that there for a minute. Can I slide you under? Just about. So let's have the leaf there. Okay, so what do you think? At the moment it doesn't really look very much at all, does it? I could put that somewhere, but I'm not going to, I don't think. I think I've got enough greenery there. I've got 2 leaves left over. That's one of the little stems that I cut off. So I've got that left over and that left over. And I've still got these, which are the 2 that I painted with you. Okay, so that's plenty to finish off this. Let's get rid of these 2, otherwise they'll appear somewhere else. Right. So now is where the magic happens, and that is when we cut our card in half. And first of all, I'm going to cut off the bits that are coming over the top. And that one's got hardly anything. I'm not going to worry about that one. Just put those 2 in the bin. Right, I'm going to use my trimmer. I've got another piece of Whisper White there. Right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to line my cardstock up make sure you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to line this up at 4 1/8 because this is the full width of a sheet of A4. Okay, I'm not going to say refer to US measurements or metric in particular, because I had a feedback from somebody last week, and she's a fairly new crafter, and she found it was rather confusing the previous week, and that's the last thing I want to do. So I feel that whenever anybody says anything, what they think, there will be other people thinking the same. So I'm trying not to mention too many measurements. All I've done is the inches for English, but the others will be in the bottom. Okay, so I'm lined up at 4 1/8 here, and I am going to press hard with my cutting blade, and I'm going to come back down again. Oh, you can feel it going through there. Thought I'd broken my nail then. And there we go. Alright, lovely. Now what I found when I was doing these ones, I was going up and down, as you can see it's got a bit damaged there and what have you. So if you do that one, you really do have to be very, very careful that you don't have too much overlapping. Now I need this cut down to 5 3/8. So first of all I'm going to cut that bit off, and then I'm going to see what length I have. Okay, so it's that bit there. In fact that is 5 3/8 there, so if I cut that off I can't cut any off my top. Well, that's fine, I can live with that. Okay, so one slice and bring it back again, and there we go. Alright, and I've also got to cut that one down, haven't I? That one should be, that was 5 3/8, so this has got to be 3 3/4. So I'm not going to cut off my flowers, I'm going to cut off from here. Okay, so that should fit the front of my card on the black layer beautifully. That looks about right. So let's do this one. And I cut it from here. Oh no I didn't, I cut it from here. So again, I'm hopefully going to cut off to that point there. So I'm going to press hard, and I'm going to come back, still pressing hard. I see that I've got a gap there, but I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to try and squeeze another flower in. Okay, so that looks nice. Pleased with that. So now I've got to cut this to 3 3/4. There we go. Isn't that a brilliant technique? Oh, you know what I've done, don't you? I've only done one of these. I need 2. Well, I'm not going to worry about that now. I'll do that after the video. So on this one, insides are both okay. That one was just for demonstration purposes. So now I need these on here, like this. Okay. This one's got a lot more flowers on it than that one, but they're still going to look beautiful. So let me just adhere this onto this one. Got a lot of sticky there. Doesn't really matter, but that is off my silicone mat. Okay. Let me pop that onto there. What I'll do is I'll put the sentiment on this card because it's got the largest amount of flowers. Whoops. So that backs up what I say about it doesn't matter if it comes over the edge there. The beauty of this is you're actually making 2 cards in one go. You could also do this with by stamping, but you would have to do masking. You'd have to mask off 1 flower before you move on to the next one. I'm not sure that that is something that I would actually like to try. There we go. And you could do this with, I haven't tried the other ideas, but when I was looking at my stamp sets, different things I could try, I thought from masculine card, we've got a couple of really lovely stamp sets that have got trees in them, so I don't see why that couldn't be done. And I think both of the sets actually have leaves as well, so you could intersperse the leaves, like, you know, these, you use the flowers as trees and then the leaves as leaves. Okay, so there's that one. So this one I am going to put some dimensionals on. I think last time I put 2 little ones on the outsides there. I'm going to put it onto this one. So you could put it anywhere really. Are you in shot? Yeah. I quite like it like that. The others, I've been doing it up there, haven't I? I'm going to do it down here. I hope that's what you're all shouting at me. In fact, should I put it in the centre or to the edge? I'm going to do it there. Okay, let's just get rid of these. And I've been using these quite a lot lately, and these are the holiday rhinestones. The colours they come in are pumpkin pie, shaded spruce, okay, so that's pumpkin pie, shaded spruce, cherry cobbler, which is what I'm using here, coastal cabana, which is this pale blue, and night of navy. So although that's what the colours they say they are, they're very, very versatile. There we go. And I will do the same for this one as well. So you may have noticed the big difference that I've done here is these I've used the white card base, and this I've used the poppy parade. So which do you prefer? I think I prefer the red ones, but let's move. I haven't got room to spread them all out, but that's not finished anyway, so that's okay. So there you go, and what I will do is I will just adhere my leftovers inside these two. Okay, there'll be photographs of these on my blog tomorrow, which is when my video will go live. So do check that out, and you'll see how that I have finished them off, and you will see that I finished this one off as well. Okay, so many thanks for joining me today. If you have any comments to make, please leave them in the box below the video. I'm always happy to help you out, and I do enjoy reading your feedback. In the box below, I'll put all the measurements in A4 sizes, in metric and in US sizes. I'll also put a link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop, together with a list of all the products I've used and their codes, and you can click on any one and it will take you straight through to my shop. If you've enjoyed my video and you'd like to be notified each time I upload a new one, please click on the subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner and then click on the bell so you get the notifications. And just to let you know, 2 special promotions with Stampin' Up at the moment. Firstly is, if you join Stampin' Up, not only for your £99 or €129, you choose £130 or £175 worth of products from the new catalogue, but you can also choose a stamp set with a punch bundle or a stamp set with a die set bundle, and that is totally extra on top of. It's an amazing offer. You can join as a hobbyist or a savvy shopper, so that you just get the discount on your shopping, or you'll be a business builder like myself. Whichever way, you're very welcome to buy a starter kit. And the other promotion is, if you have a party and your sales are over £200, not only will you get the Stampin' rewards as normal, but you will also get an extra £20 in Stampin' rewards, or €27. So both really very, very good deals, and very well worth your while looking into it. Many thanks for joining me today. As always, please take care out there and stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Cheerio.